Looking to save as much money as possible on your upcoming Epic Pass purchase? You've come to the right place. The Epic Pass suite comes with tons of access, and depending on which product you buy, you could be looking at a pass that's good at over 40 resorts. But what if you don't need all that access? Well, it turns out there are some little known hacks that can get you access to the resorts you need without forcing you to overpay for Epic's much more expensive higher end products. In this video, we'll give a comprehensive overview of what these hacks are, and how you can use them to save hundreds without sacrificing any ski or ride days. If you find this information helpful, be sure to like this video and hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. Enjoy! Before getting up to speed on how to squeeze the most amount of value from your Epic purchase next winter, it's helpful to understand the structure of the Epic Pass suite itself and the array of products it includes. Epic Passes are issued by Vail Resorts, and this massive company owns nearly every resort included in these passes. Epic Passes can really be divided into 4 different categories: the full Epic Pass, the Epic Local Pass, regional or resort-specific products, and Epic Day Passes. The top-of-the-line Epic Pass costs $909 for adults and includes unlimited access, including on holidays, to every Vail-owned resort. This pass also includes 7 days of access at Telluride and access to numerous international skiing options. The Epic Local Pass costs $676 and offers season-long access to most of Vail's resorts. However, holiday access is unavailable at the top tier of destination resorts. Visits to Vail, Beaver Creek, and Whistler are limited to 10 days total. There's no Telluride access, and international resort access is considerably thinner. Epic-affiliated regional pass offerings include access to various subsets of Vail's resort holdings, in varieties that include midweek, full week, non-holiday, and holiday access. These can be really useful for those who don't plan on traveling far distances, or for those who live within driving distance of certain resorts. And finally, skiers and riders who don't expect to chalk up enough mountain days to warrant a season-long pass can also purchase Epic Day Passes. These can be purchased in units of 1 to 7 days, where the per-day price decreases as the number of days increase. Epic Day Passes come in a multitude of varieties, with 3 different pass tiers offering different levels of resort access, and each of these tiers coming in varieties either offering or blacking out holiday access. While it's not immediately obvious from the website, you can actually purchase 2 of the same day pass if you need more than 7 days, although the system might require 2 separate transactions. So now that you're aware of the vast array of Epic-related pass offerings, can you use that knowledge to save hundreds of dollars on your upcoming ski season? Absolutely. The conventional wisdom is that the break-even point for those considering day passes versus season-length passes is 7 days, meaning that anyone planning to ski or ride 7 or more days at Vail-owned resorts will be best served by a season pass. That's why they stop at 7 days for the day passes, right? Well, it turns out this is very much a generalization and is not universally true. Depending on the resort or resorts you wish to visit, purchasing multiple day passes totaling as many as 13 days can cost less than an associated season pass. Similarly, if you can be precise about your skiing plans, and you only plan on spending 1 or 2 days at a destination resort, you can strategically cobble together regional passes and day passes and save substantially overall. Now here's the fun part. We've prepared the optimal pass strategies to save you the most amount of money for every Vail-owned mountain. So whether you plan on hitting a top-tier resort or a literal Midwest hill, we've got you covered in this video. We'll start with Vail's most prestigious Tier 1 resorts, which claim some of the best overall mountain experiences in the world. Included in this tier are Vail, Beaver Creek, Park City, Whistler Blackcomb, and Breckenridge. If you purchase a 4-day or longer Tier 1 day pass, you'll also get partner access to Telluride in the resorts of the Canadian Rockies. Now, access to these mountains isn't as hackable as most of the resorts we'll cover later, but there are still some deals to be had. If you plan on skiing 1 to 6 days at Breckenridge, or 1 to 7 days at any of the other Tier 1 mountains as your only vacation next winter, buying an Epic Day Pass product makes the most financial sense. But even at its highest Tier 1 price, the Day Pass rate only goes for $101 without holiday access and $119 with holiday access, which is far below what these mountains cost if you buy any regular lift ticket product. For the vast majority of the resorts in this tier, there's no special regional pass to get a deal on unlimited season-long access, meaning that those planning to ski 8 or more days at Park City, Vail, Beaver Creek, or Whistler will need to step up to the Epic Local Pass. Those who want 2 or more days of holiday access at these resorts, or who plan to ski 13 or more days at any combination of Vail, Beaver Creek, and Whistler will need to bite the bullet on the full Epic Pass. But if you only plan on doing 1 to 2 days that aren't included on the Epic Local Pass, you can pair the Local Pass with a Tier 1 Epic Day Pass and still save money overall. The one mountain in this tier where you don't need to step up to the Epic Local Pass for unlimited access is Breckenridge, which can be accessed for an unlimited number of non-holiday days on the Summit Value Pass for $546. If you plan on skiing 7 or more non-holidays at Breckenridge next winter, and you don't plan on skiing more than 1 additional day at any resort that's not Keystone, you'll save money over the higher-end Epic Local product. However, Breckenridge is the only Tier 1 mountain that's not blacked out on holidays on the Epic Local Pass, so it might be worth upgrading if you're planning to ski during these peak times, but be warned, it will be packed. Strategic options for saving money really begin to open up at the Tier 2 level, which includes all remaining Rockies, West Coast, Vermont, and New York State mountains owned by Vail. There are very few scenarios where the full Epic Pass would make sense for those local to Tier 2 resorts. Only a handful of Tier 2 mountains have holiday blackouts on the Epic Local Pass, and as with the Tier 1 mountains we discussed earlier, you can pair the Epic Local Pass with an Epic Day Pass product if you don't need any more than a weekend's worth of holiday access at these resorts. What this basically means then, is that for most of the remaining mountains we're going to cover, the $676 cost of the Epic Local Pass is the price to beat when considering regional and day pass alternatives. Remember how we mentioned earlier you could buy more than one Epic Day Pass product? This is where that trick comes in handy. If you decide to visit multiple Tier 2 ski resorts next winter, the costs come out below an Epic Local Pass if you can purchase as many as 9 Epic Day Pass days. That is, you can purchase one 7-day Tier 2 pass for $459 and a second 2-day Tier 2 pass for $153 for a total of $612. In addition, you can use this hack to mix and match days across different pass tiers without overpaying. For example, if you plan to ski 2 days at Vail and 5 days at a lesser tier mountain, you can choose to purchase one 2-day Tier 1 pass for $198 and a second 5-day Tier 2 pass for $348, still undercutting the Epic Local Pass by quite a bit, and saving $54 versus a simple 7-day Tier 1 day pass. Since most Tier 2 resorts have their own regional passes, you don't necessarily have to ski or ride more than 9 days to make a season-long pass purchase worth it. Keystone locals, for example, can get the Keystone Plus Pass for $361, which is a better value than day passes after only 6 days of skiing and riding, assuming you don't need holiday access. As an added bonus, this pass also offers 5 days of access to Crested Butte and spring access to Breckenridge. If you're a Keystone local and you're planning on spending no more than 3 non-holiday days at a Tier 1 resort, or 4 non-holidays at another Tier 2 resort, purchasing day passes on top of the Keystone Plus Pass is still a better deal than the Epic Local Pass. Moving on to the Lake Tahoe region, all Vail's resorts in this area are classified as Tier 2 mountains, and locals to this region have a number of options. The best pass really depends on the variety of resorts you visit, whether you want holiday or weekend access, and whether you plan to hit the Rockies during the season. At $489, the Tahoe Value Pass, which offers unlimited non-holiday access to Heavenly and unlimited non-Saturday access to North Star and Kirkwood, is a better value than Tier 2 day passes if you plan on skiing 8 or more days, assuming you don't need that Saturday access to North Star or Kirkwood, and assuming you don't plan on traveling to the Rockies. But even if you do need these accesses, the Tahoe Local Pass offers unlimited non-holiday access to these 3 resorts, and also includes 5 non-holiday days at Vail-owned Colorado and Utah destinations. At $575, the break-even point for this pass is 9 or more Tahoe days, and even fewer for those who plan to use the 5 days at the Rockies resorts. If you need holiday access and you plan on skiing only at Kirkwood, you can buy a dedicated season pass for the same price as the Tahoe Local Pass. Otherwise, you might do best pairing your Tahoe Pass with a couple of Epic Day Pass days before needing to splurge all the way to the full Epic Pass. When it comes to Vail's sole Washington State mountain, Stevens Pass, there are 2 season pass options. The Stevens Pass Select Pass, which comes in at $371 and blacks out nearly all weekends and holidays, and the Stevens Pass Premium Pass, which costs $579 and has no holiday blackouts. The Stevens Pass Select Pass breaks even versus the Tier 2 Epic Day Pass on the 6th weekday of skiing or riding, while the Stevens Pass Premium Pass breaks even on the 9th day. If you plan on only skiing Stevens Pass and primarily skiing on weekdays, consider getting the Select Pass and pairing it with a small Tier 2 Epic Day Pass, the combination of which can still cost less than the Stevens Pass Premium Pass after 2 days of weekend access. If you're planning to ski or board in Vermont or New York's Hunter Mountain next winter, there are also a lot of access options. If you only plan to ski or ride during the week, and you don't plan to make Stowe your primary mountain, you should check out the Northeast Midweek Pass. At $416, this pass becomes a better value than Tier 2 non-holiday day passes on the 7th weekday of skiing or riding. If you want weekend access to these resorts but don't plan on skiing holidays, you may want to step up to the $555 Northeast Value Pass, which breaks even versus the Epic Day Pass after the 9th day of skiing or riding. However, if you plan to make a visit to the Rockies, you plan to ski 2 or more holidays, or you plan on skiing more than 11 days at Stowe, it's probably worthwhile to bump up to the Epic Local Pass, where the cost will break even versus either of the Northeast passes after just 2 or 3 days. Now let's move into Epic's Tier 3 mountains, which primarily live in regions that are much more local in nature and rarely see much destination travel. We'll start with Epic's Mid-Atlantic and New Hampshire resorts, and the picture is pretty much the same for all the mountains in these regions. If you plan on skiing or riding 1 to 9 weekdays, get a Tier 3 Epic Day Pass. Otherwise, if you don't plan on doing weekends or holidays, get the Northeast Midweek Pass. If you do plan on skiing or riding on weekends, the Northeast Value Pass breaks even versus the Epic Day Pass after 14 days, 4 of which have to be weekends to make it a better buy than the Northeast Midweek Pass. So if you're in the Mid-Atlantic or New Hampshire and you don't plan to visit Vermont, you'll want to think long and hard about whether you'll ski or ride enough to make this pass worthwhile. If you're primarily planning to ski the Midwest, the season pass offerings are a bit more affordable than in the Northeast. Every mountain in Indiana, Missouri, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Michigan has their own dedicated season pass, while the Ohio resorts all share a singular, aptly named Ohio Pass. Depending on the pass, it can take 8 to 13 days to break even on a season pass product versus the Epic Day Pass. If you're planning to visit Wilmot, Afton Alps, or Mount Brighton, where the break even for a season pass can require 10 or more days of skiing or riding, you should really think about sticking with an Epic Day Pass for next season. And finally, we can't end this video without diving into the specialty discounts for certain groups and residents. When it comes to residency, those native to Canada and Washington State have a massive leg up thanks to the resident exclusive Edge Card. The Edge Card product comes in 2, 5, and 10-day increments with or without holiday access, and offers almost unbelievable discounts on access to Whistler Blackcomb. If you get the 10-day Edge product, you can use 3 of your days at any Vail-owned mountain. For the 5-day Edge Card, this flexibility is true for 2 of your days. The Edge Card substantially undercuts the Epic Day Pass in terms of Whistler Blackcomb pricing, with even a 10-day Edge Card costing less than a 7-day Tier 1 Day Pass. For Canadians and Washington State residents who don't plan to visit Whistler, a regular Epic product will still probably make sense. But if you do plan on hitting Whistler, it really only makes sense to upgrade to the Epic Local Pass if you ski more than 3 days at other Vail-owned mountains. If you plan to visit Vail, Beaver Creek, and Whistler Blackcomb for 11 or 12 days next winter, assuming no holiday access, it's still cheaper to combine an Edge product with an Epic Day Pass than to upgrade to the full Epic Pass. When it comes to specialty groups, military members will enjoy some of the best rates in the ski pass industry. Epic offers special military pass products that range from just $159 for active and retired military personnel and dependents to $519 for veterans and their dependents. These passes exclude Telluride and select international resorts, but offer full, unrestricted access to every Vail-owned mountain around the globe. As a result, active and retired military will see their Epic passes pay off after just 2 trips in most cases, and would be wise to purchase the full Epic military pass in almost every circumstance. Veterans may still find select regional passes a good buy, but the break-even point for Epic Day Pass purchases becomes a lot lower. In addition, veterans and their dependents also have access to a special $277 Keystone Season Pass called the Liberty Pass. Adaptive passes also offer substantial discounts for individuals with disabilities. The Adaptive Epic Pass's $455 rate isn't quite as good as the active military rate, but Epic also offers adaptive regional passes for Tahoe, the Northeast, and Midwest, and a special 5-day day pass for individuals who fall into this group. As a result, it rarely makes sense for those who qualify for an adaptive purchase to go for a normal Epic Pass product. And finally, college students can get slight discounts on the Epic Local Pass, as well as several regional and resort-specific season passes. While the college rates aren't quite as good as the military and adaptive rates, the cutoff for a season pass versus an Epic Day Pass is still slightly lower than with the regular passes. It's also worth noting that kids 12 and under are eligible for discounted rates on every product covered in this video, while teens 18 and under are eligible for discounts on the Epic Local Pass and several regional pass products, and seniors are eligible for discounts on certain regional passes. So when it comes to getting the best possible value out of your Epic Pass purchase for next season, there are a lot of options. You can save tons of money just by knowing which ski resorts you're visiting next winter, planning out how many days you're going, and buying your access accordingly. Epic has historically kept their early bird rates well into the summer, and while it wouldn't be completely out of the question to see that strategy change this year, you'll likely still have plenty of time to flesh out your winter getaways for next season. How'd we do? If you bought an Epic Pass last year, did you make the appropriate purchase, or could you have saved money by using these tricks? If you have any other thoughts for stretching value out of the Epic Pass suite, we'd love to see them in the comments below. For more information on the mountains included on the Epic Pass and over 80 destination ski resorts, check out peakrankings.com. See you for the next one.